Flight Global, August 13, 24, reported on Ukraine's latest efforts to fly its F-16 fighter jets. According to the explanation, Ukraine is exploring the possibility of recruiting retired F-16 pilots from NATO countries. President Zelenskyy told us that he is looking to recruit retired NATO F-16 fighter pilots, said Senator Richard Blumenthal. Ukraine finally began operating its first F-16 this August. However, the F-16 is Ukraine's first Western fighter jet, and that has created a new problem. Ukrainian fighter pilots seem to be going back to the basics of flying fighter jets. Training Ukrainian pilots to operate the F-16 safely and effectively has proven to be a much slower process, Flight Global explained. For now, the Pentagon has not been able to respond to the Ukrainian president's request. As a reminder, the F-16 is one of Ukraine's priority requests to its Western allies. Ukraine feels overwhelmed facing Russia with only former Soviet fighter jets. Therefore, they feel that Western fighter jets are the answer to this difficulty. The West finally agreed to send F-16s to Ukraine, after the G7 countries met in May 2023. The G7 countries agreed to send more weapons to Ukraine, including F-16s with training packages. However, since the F-16 delivery effort, several parties have expressed pessimism that the fighter jets will work optimally in Ukraine. Some see that Ukraine itself is not ready to operate Western fighter jets such as the F-16, both in terms of infrastructure and human resources. As stated by the Ukrainian Air Force spokesperson, Yuri Ignat, Kyiv does not have sufficient infrastructure to meet the standards for operating the F-16. In addition to the need for fighter jets, there is also a need for compatible infrastructure to operate the F-16. We also lack trained pilots to fly the fighter jets, and this complicates the problem. In addition to the need for fighter jets, there is also a need for compatible infrastructure to operate the F-16. We also lack trained pilots to fly the fighter jets, and this complicates the problem. Bringing in fighter jets is not a simple matter. We are talking about a complex system that takes many things into consideration, such as a suitable environment, equipped airports, and trained pilots, Ignat told Bulgarian Military, January 25, 24. The statement above is supported by a think tank website, the Royal United Service Institute, RUSI, in England. Ukraine needs a runway that is suitable for Western fighter jets. Meanwhile, the condition of the Ukrainian runway was rough and there was a lot of debris. Ukrainian runways are not designed for Western fighter jets. Western fighter jets require smooth runways, unlike Soviet fighter jets such as Mikoyan and Sukhoi, the think tank website explained. Previously, a veteran F-16 pilot from the U.S. Air Force, John Venable, also saw the unpreparedness of Ukrainian pilots. Venable has 2,000 hours of flight time operating the F-16, and has worked in the Air Force for 25 years. First, he explained that the training time for Ukrainian pilots to fly the F-16 was insufficient. Because this was their first experience, the pilots had to start from scratch learning how to run the basics of flying in a new cockpit. With the presence of high-tech fighter jets, in the end it will only create new problems rather than solutions. Supplying and training Ukrainians with these planes will be a very difficult job, said John Venable.